everybody, and welcome to week 3 of our Lenten musical calendar. Our gospel this week takes us into the dramatic story of Jesus overturning the tables at the temple. Our gospel reflection is brought to us by our friend from St. George's Church in Georgetown. Would you please make welcome Reverend Rob Park.
In John's Gospel, chapter 2, verses 18 to 21, when the people in the temple, upset with Jesus, chasing out the livestock being sold there and overturning the money changers' tables, they say to Jesus, "What sign can you show us for doing this?" Jesus answers them, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." Then they said to Jesus, "This temple has been under construction for 46 years, and you will raise it up in 3 days?" But we're told in the gospel that he was speaking of the temple of his body. Well, this passage is a great example of the difference between what we think God can or should do and what God actually does and what God's plan is for all of us. We too often set goals that are in keeping with earthly measures rather than God's goals. But God has bigger plans for us. It's one of the reasons that Jesus is so angry at those selling animals and the money changers operating inside the temple. Jesus sees that the things in the temple are off course and broken. God can often find us that way too. And the things that we think are so important, like big buildings or making money, are not what God wants to spend God's time building up with us. We are what God has big plans for. God wants to help us move out of our world's brokenness and to build us up into the person and the people who will be examples of God's kingdom through Jesus, who was the example of care and compassion. Each and every one of us is important because for God, the goal is for the whole human family to live in right relationship with God and with each other. God makes it clear that God did not send Jesus to build up earthly structures and systems, as Jesus found in the temple in our passage. God sent Jesus to rescue us from the brokenness this world has built around us.
The God that we are worshiping here today is a God who loves without the limits and conditions that you and I so often put on our affections. You are never too far from God. You are never too small for God to see. You are never hidden from God's sight. When you feel covered and smothered by the worries of this world, know that God is the one who will reach down through all of it and hold you in love. This is the God who will salvage you.
Under the wreckage light a tiny fire no one sees but you. No one sees but you. Vanish in the mist, I slowly disappear. One last quiet cry, but then you keep my heart beating, never leaving me. You salvage me from the places no one sees. The dark so deep it's only reached by your light. Under a stone that can only be moved by your mind. By your mind. Sometimes it's hard to believe the faith that you have in me. You salvage me from the places no one sees. The dark so deep it's only reached by your light. Under a stone that can only be moved by your light. By your mind. Oh God.